the seeds you've been planting, the direction you're ready to be going in, and that you've been working on, it seems as if the foundation is getting ready to be laid from this point on. So welcome everybody. My name is Kelita Sahliah. I am a real angel and mother, and of course I dabble in crypto, so do make sure you check out my Crypto Angles podcast. And welcome to our sky, our story. Over here we combine, we use the actual visible sky to interpret our astrology, because that's where astrology is happening. Of course, there's plenty of videos down below which explains why. To me, it's just a bit more logical, makes more sense, because that's where astrology is happening. And of course, we also include the child over here as well. Don't believe me? Check for yourself. Google have I done that right? Yeah. Google it, download an astronomy app, or grab yourself a calendar. This one's almost finished. It does finish in March, but then you can get next year's calendar. It's available. Physical and digital copies are available, so do grab that. You may be hearing Peppa Pig in the background. My children are not well, so this video will not be long, okay? So let's get into it anyway. What we usually do is... Yes, sweetheart. Hold on. So what we usually do is go through the transits of the cycle, and then the moon transit, and then we clarify with some tarot, which again will be super quick. What's there? Oh, Seven of Pentacles. And then we come back to the present moment, because of course the present moment is all that matters. So we're on this cycle right now from the 14th to the 20th. So as you can see, the transits are only happening at the end of this cycle, meaning what I spoke about in the last video is, and the video before that, is predominantly them energies for the majority of this cycle anyway. So do check out those videos. Oh dear. Do check out those videos to if you haven't already. I really hope you can hear me over Peppa Pig, but it can't come off. So anyway, as you can see, there's only 2 transits happening this cycle. So do you want... Sorry? So that was, the sun is moving from Sagittarius on the 20th. It's moving from Sag into Capricorn. And then we're getting Venus moving from Ophiuchus into Sagittarius. So what is this telling me? The sun represents the ego. It represents the lens which you are perceiving your reality through. So we're moving from this lens of, this is the direction I want to go in. This is like, you know, that mature direction, that mature flame, because Sagittarius is the last fire sign. So there's maturity there. Confirmation burp. And you may be focused on a lot of learning, a new direction and things like that. And that potentially has been the lens you've been operating through. But we're now moving from that lens, and we're moving into operating into the lens of Capricorn, of things that are long-term goal orientated. So it does align really with Sagittarius, because you would have been focused on where you wanted to go. So now you're still focused on that even more, but it's about working towards it, and it's about laying and setting that solid, stable foundation in order to get towards that long-term goal. So from the 20th up until into February, that will be the lens we will be operating through. So when it comes to, you may be more inclined and have more energy by then, especially if you've just not been feeling in the mood to be doing just work as much, or it's just been quite sluggish. You may be more in that mode to be like, okay, like a renewed passion, would I say, or renewed energy in terms of your long-term goal. You may be more wanting to just put in that work, take your time, put in that effort. When it comes even to relationships, people you're talking to, it's like you may only want to put in that effort for people who you see will be there for the long term, and those who will be round about to help set solid foundations. You may have collaborations and things of that nature, but you're operating through that lens of, okay, work mode, take our time, slow and steady, maybe slow and steady, but you're doing something, and the work that you do and what you're seeing will help set that foundation for the long-term goal. And moving on to Venus. Venus represents the material reality. So Venus, Friday, it represents all of our six senses, that sight, taste, touch, hearing, smell, as well as intuition. And it's what you find valuable in the material reality which makes you want to use your six senses to interact with it. Okay, so like, for example, it's moving from Ophiuchus right now. Ophiuchus is transformative. It passed through it passed through Scorpio, as you can see, and then it moved into Ophiuchus. So it's in Ophiuchus right now. And I feel this is why I was sick. Because the six senses is experiencing this transformation, this healing and transformation, and it was just like my body and my children's body just needed to slow down and rest. So we have not even been doing homeschooling, we have just been resting. So I'm gonna do this video and then we're gonna go downstairs and relax. But anyway, Venus is moving from this transformation and it's moving into Sagittarius. So of course it does cover money and love as well. It does cover those things. So you may have been seeing some things transforming in the love department potentially, or seeing noticeable little differences. Maybe you're noticing a little change in someone. You're like, oh, that's interesting. Or from how you've changed, you're like, oh yeah, I want to look into that. That may come up. Also, people, do check out how the luminaries support you at the beginning of the month. It came out in January. The next one will be out in February, but it will only be on YouTube for 48 hours. Then I'll put it on my Patreon. But I synchronize all of the luminaries together. Okay, so when it comes out the beginning of the month, confirmation cough from my baby. So Venus is moving from this transformative Ophiuchus energy into Sagittarius. So our six senses are operating in a way of this mature focus direction we want to go in. So travel may come up. You may be tapping even more into learning, because we do have more Sag energy. As you can see, we may be tapping more into actually learning. Like, there may have been some people may have been doing it. It would be different to everyone depending on your placements as well, but you may have had like some ideas to do it. Did you drop that by yourself? You may have had some ideas to do it. Some people may have been learning some new things, talking about travel, or actually traveling. But for some others, if there was just like little drops, as Venus enters it and it's actually your six senses, you may be experiencing this much more. So travel may come up, extra learning to deepen your own philosophy on life. So it's whatever you're interested in learning, that may come up as well. And you may be just more clear, more focused on actually getting and experiencing this new direction you're ready to go in, because that's what Sagittarius is. It's the centurion and he's got a bow and arrow, so he's very precise and focused on the direction it's ready to go in. He's very precise and focused. So and this direction that our six senses are now experiencing, we will experience these things, these opportunities that appear and attract into our lives. And as we're experiencing that with our six senses, we will be seeing it through the lens of this experience. I'm going to use that to lay the foundation and to reach my long-term goal, to work on something, to take my time to reach that goal that my six senses are picking up. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing with that. If you did like that, let me know. We're going to move swiftly onto the moon transits now. So the moon What's the moon doing? It seems as if we're getting our Cetus watery dip. So we're getting our energy transformation, and then we're entering a new toroidal field. So let me draw that now. So we have on the 16th, we have a Pisces moon at 3 a.m. It's round about that time. We've got a lot moving on the same day. That's why I'm writing the times. I don't usually write the times. But then also on the 16th, we have a Cetus moon at around 5 p.m. And then we jump back into Pisces at about 11:30 p.m. On the 18th, we then have an Aries moon, and then on the 20th, we have a Taurus moon. So the moon is the mover of your emotions. It gets our emotions moving, our energy moving. So that is the moon. The way it works, your energy will be moved. You'll feel happy, sad, excited about something, and then you would act on something, because of course the world is a stage. We are the stars of the show. We would act on something, and as we're acting that out, we see it through the lens of the sun, and from that action, whatever is drawn to us, whatever experience we attract, we see it through the lens of the sun. And it always couples with your sun sign as well as where the sun is transiting. So that's how you can get a deeper knowing into your own life. But anyway, the moon is moving from, oh gosh, that wouldn't have been Libra. I did not change that. Where is it? It's Aquarius up there. I didn't change it. My bad. So we're moving from this Aquarius moon of our emotions on Sunday, the day of the sun. Yeah, the day. Yes, the day of the sun. Oh, so it's it's in Aquarius for the beginning of the cycle, and then it moves into Pisces. So our emotions may be moving us in this way of how to kind of give, probably a bit networky, probably quite sociable. Our emotions may be moving us in a way of who you want to talk to, you know, because it's just quite sociable in respect, but it's also about giving. So this could be, I'd say, pay attention to how you feel and the emotions that come up with how you feel on any unique ideas that you've got, especially when it comes to giving to other people. So do pay attention to what comes up at the beginning of the cycle. Okay, you notice I say cycle, not WEEK. There's a reason. But anyway, yeah, just pay attention to what comes up there, because our emotions have gone around the whole zodiac wheel, and from Tuesday, it's getting ready to have its Cetus watery dip. It's getting ready to transform. So yeah, moving quickly on though. So our emotions are maybe moving us in a way at the beginning of the cycle to based around your unique idea and how you want to network, socialize, how you want to give back. So pay attention to how you feel when it comes to your unique ideas at the beginning. And this is going to be important because we're entering in, actually going in this direction with this unique idea, with how we want to give back and how we can lay that foundation. But of course, before we get to that, our emotions are getting an upgrade, so we have the capacity to make this foundation and experience this direction. Okay, so I will just say, pay attention to what comes up. As we go into Tuesday, we're getting our whole Cetus watery dip. So the moon starts off in Pisces. 3 a.m. in the morning, and it will dip down into Cetus, and it comes back up into Pisces. So this is basically our baptism, would you say? You know, when you watch music videos, movies and things of that nature, water is very symbolic. We are birthed through our mother's canal. We are birthed through the waters. So we're basically getting this watery rebirth of our emotions, our energy. So we've gone around the zodiac wheel, we've collated all the data that we've had with how our emotions have moved us, and it's time for an upgrade now. Okay, it's time for an upgrade. So when our emotions are obviously going through Pisces, our emotions may be moved in a way of a bit more wisdom, a bit more just like, oh, okay, I recognize this. You may have some self-reflection, because Pisces is all of the zodiac signs in it. So if you're feeling like, oh yeah, just reflecting back, that it will be normal. It will be normal for these 2 days in that cycle. Just past reflection, realizing, oh, I could do it like this, or do it in this way, or I'm able to. You've learnt, basically, you know, if you've probably done something and then you reflect back and you're like, oh, I see why that happened now. So it's feelings like that may come up. Cetus is the alchemization of all of these emotions. So as I says, we may be feeling a certain type of way when it first starts in Pisces, and it's just like, oh yeah, that happened, blah blah blah. But then as it dips down, it's time for your emotions to alchemize. So at the end of Tuesday, well, from 5 p.m. it would be different depending where you are in the realm, the times, but basically more to the evening to end of Tuesday. That may, your emotions then may truly be moving you in more of like a, yes, I'm alchemizing this. I'd fully see it now. I'm actually going to be paying attention to just how my emotions are, how I feel, to be honest, round about this time. If that, like, because Cetus is the alchemization, so I'm wondering if it's more like, oh, if it's, I'm getting a buzz in my ear. If it's more like during that time, that's when these feelings of, okay, I see why that happened, this happened that way, and this, I feel this about that now. Like, you may have felt awful about something before, but because this alchemization comes in, you see it in a different way, so it becomes okay. And then of course it's like when it comes up through back up into Pisces, that's like that watery birth. You've alchemized your emotions, how your energy has been moving you, and it's ready to level up and go back in the waters, yeah, in a bit more clear state. Let's observe. And then of course we then move into Aries. So Aries is that new flame, that fire. So it's like once our emotions have had this alchemization, this rebirth, it's then that fire element kicks in, that passion, that new passion. It comes back in and you feel fresh again. So that's what I mean, especially if you've been feeling just a bit slumped. You know, it's meant to be the new year, but this is clearly not the new year. But if you've been feeling a bit slumped, I feel that that's okay. This new flame, this new energy will come up fresh again, closer to the end of the cycle. And as I said, we then move, these transits happen and we move into the Taurus. We move into the Taurus. Hold on. We move into the Taurus moon. So again, I find it fascinating how our emotions have this transformation. We get this new flame, this spark, the way our emotions are moving us as it's fresh and ready to go around the zodiac wheel, showing up first house. So we may literally show up differently when it comes to how we feel about things, just as we're entering into this new lens that we're operating through. This is why I love the sky and how it synchronizes together. But we're going through this transformation, and then we're ready to see reality through this new lens and experience this new direction of a long-term goal, solid foundation, sturdy work, and we're experiencing that direction. And as these luminaries kick in, our moon, our emotions enter into a new toroidal field. So Taurus is the toroidal field. As you can see, its horns, it's like that, and the horns are basically the toroidal field. So this is our energy field, our aura, and it's what we use to attract experiences to us. So we're literally entering into this emotional transformation, operating through this new lens. Our six senses are experiencing this new direction, and then our emotions begin to attract and draw these new experiences into our toroidal field. Okay, so again, it's like from this point, pretty much after the end of this cycle, so just take your time with this cycle, going through this transformation. But at the end of this cycle, it's like we will begin to, from the 20th onward, we will begin to attract new experiences to our auric field. Okay, so do let me know if that resonated or not. Let's jump into the tarot and come back to the present moment and then finish. Deep breath with me. So quickly onto the tarot. Do let me know if this resonated or not, if you like my interpretation, if you see this in your life too. I do also offer personal birth chart readings if you'd like. All the details are in the description below. But can we get the clearest message for the collective? Well, we have 7 of Cups in reverse. Clearest message for the collective this cycle. Please be quick because my babies... Get that one. No? Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let's go. I'm not the fastest shuffler. Do I have anything to say whilst I fill this gap, or shall we have Peppa Pig? Oh, 4 of Pentacles in reverse. A lot of reverse. You flipped out. Oh, we've got Judgment in reverse. Fascinating. Last thing to clarify. Oh, we had 2. We had 2. 9 of Wands. And the Moon. Let's see what that says. I feel we've just got an interesting cycle going through this transformation. Of course, always take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Let's go through this super fast. So, Cups. We have the 7 of Cups in reverse. So, 7 of Cups means wishful thinking, self-indulgence, too much choice, fantasizing about what you can achieve, high expectations, putting off the inevitable. But that came up in reverse. So I'm seeing we're not having wishful thinking that cycle. It's like we're going through, we're truly alchemizing what we had come across, you know, we're alchemizing it all. And yeah, I feel because the transit's coming pretty much at the end of the cycle, I feel this is a lot more to do, of course, with the moon's movements. But I feel we're truly ready to just alchemize. I feel to truly go in this new direction with Venus, Sag, and set the foundation of this direction that we've been working so hard towards. Right, we then had 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So, 4 of Pentacles means possessive, mean, greedy, resisting change, tight-fisted and mercenary, small-minded, materialism as a source of manipulation. So, that's interesting. So, we're not... Both of them were interesting, to be fair. So we're not possessive at this time, or mean, or greedy, or resisting change. That makes sense, because we're alchemizing. I feel we're truly just getting to that point of it's time to change. Like the way I was thinking and feeling about certain things, it's just time to change. Yeah, you're not small-minded neither, you're open-minded. So that's interesting. We then got the 9 of Wands. That came up upright. So the 9 of Wands is feeling defensive and cautious, preparedness, expecting the worst, persisting, remembering past hurts, stay alert to yourself. Is it almost finished, love? Interesting. I guess that could be the case, to be fair, because I feel when going through this alchemization, excuse me, confirmation cough, I feel that we need to be alert. We need to be alert and cautious, because we are upgrading how our energy moves, if you know what I'm saying. So we are making sure we're not accepting certain things, ready to level up from that. But that's interesting anyway. And of course, entering into this new flame, make sure it's your own and not anyone else's. Okay, so I feel that's kind of where it comes from, this potential little bit of defense, because we've not got wishful thinking or anything. You're being quite logical. And the majority of this cycle, I don't know if you can see, but we are in our first quarter moon, so it is, our emotions are moving us a bit more in this logical and rational way. So that's interesting. Let's finish. We do have a lot of emotions up in here, though. There's no wishful thinking, but there may be a little bit of illusion. So we had Judgment in reverse here, which I find interesting. We've got liberation, judgment, atonement, accepting for past actions, re-evaluating and revival, dropping old values and embracing new ones. Forgiveness of self and others. So maybe there's no forgiveness of self and others. I don't know, but it's come up in reverse. Or maybe there's like yeah, like obviously to me, I feel we are in the energy of reevaluation, because our emotions are kind of leveling up. But I don't know. You tell me. I'm not the best tarot reader, and I'm still skeptical about this. So, we've got the moon though, but the moon is there. Maybe that's why. What number is the moon? The moon can be quite, how can I put it? Delusional. The moon can be quite delusional, so maybe there is a little delusion there, which is kind of just slowing us down. So fear, self-deceit, warning, illusion. So the moon, fear, self-deceit, warning, illusion, trickery, love affair, blind to the truth, unrealistic dreams, feeling lost, worried and apprehensive, but trust your intuition and instincts. So I feel this is probably why this judgment and like not taking accountability, because with our emotions are all up in there. Bit of trickery, bit of illusion, fear, quite ruled by our emotions, I guess. So this transformation and this alchemization might bring up quite a lot of things for you. It may bring up quite a lot of things for you, which may find it difficult to then take accountability. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you feel quite emotional this cycle, that's okay, because we're going through this transformation to actually truly get us in that direction. Okay, so just keep in mind any fears or illusions or trickery that may come up, because we're entering into this new emotional state of being. So trickery may come up to put you off track. So make sure you're just true to yourself. Okay, make sure you're true to yourself. But we are going to, where's my thingamabob? Take a deep breath with me. 1 more minute to go. and breathe. So we're going to come back to the present moment, and then we're going to finish and chill with my babies. But the present moment, do keep in mind that yesterday, when you're watching this video, yesterday, Mercury previously entered Sagittarius, and the moon right now is in Sagittarius as you're watching this. It's quite a lot of Sag energy, and of course just take notes of what comes up for you at this time, because this will amplify when Venus enters Sagittarius as well. And of course all of this Sag energy of this new focus direction is all about your long-term stable goals. Okay, so the way we communicate is going to be very Sag. This is the direction I'm ready to go in, very focused. You know where you're going. And the way our emotions are moving us today is a lot around where you're going. So I feel the way our emotions are moving us is giving that snippet and that taster of how we're going to be exchanging our energy and using our six senses to interact with the hologram around this Sag energy. So pay attention to how you feel today, your gut feelings about things. And of course it is a no moon, new moon today, so it's going to be very logical and quite clear on a logical way on how to get to that direction, how to travel, what you're going to learn about your own philosophy. Okay, it's going to be very logical and rational, based around this Sagittarius energy. And of course this direction will eventually be laying a foundation. So I feel today is quite important to just take note of how you're feeling, and of course pay attention to how you're now communicating and exchanging your energy, because it's all precise. It's all precise. But with that being said, short video, I'm gonna go chill with my babies now. Do grab these calendars. Your support will mean the world to me, especially this one. And stay tuned, because we've got more things coming very soon. If you do want a reading with me, do let me know. I need to work on a review, like where I can put my reviews, so you lot can see I do get quite good reviews. People do like it. So yeah, with that being said, let me be by my babies now. Thank you for getting to this point, and I'll see you next video. Angel out. Bye.